Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Nice one today. Nothing for me to be all feisty about. Hey, did you see Donald Trump is selling NFT trading cards? Jimmy Kimmel said, at least last time you got a red hat. Now he's selling you nothing. It's literally Cards Against Humanity. Fallon said, you know your campaign isn't going well when your re-election strategy is, maybe people will like me as a Pokemon. Trump was like, these cards are like classified documents. You've got to catch them all. Stephen Colbert has got his own lane of cheesy jokes with extra cheese and cheese on top. He went with, the ex-president of the United States, the ex-most powerful man in the world, has launched a line of trading cards. It's Gropimon with Pikachu. Yeah? Another one. This is the least dignified attempt at post-presidential merchandising since the launch of Tickle Me Truman. That one's not bad. Colbert again. He's a business genius, jumping in on the NFT market when it's at its hottest. Next, he's releasing an exclusive line of rotary phones. Okay, you redeemed yourself, but that first one was cheesy. Kimmel, hey, look at this. It's like QAnon meets QVC. Fallon, even the most diehard Trump supporters are like, all right, now I'm worried. And Jimmy Fallon again. Even the MyPillow guy was going, I think Trump's lost it. So yesterday, right after I finished recording a fairly long podcast, which included a rant about comedy podcasts, I went upstairs, sat at the table to edit the show, and I immediately got an email from iHeart. They have announced the nominees for the 2023 iHeart Podcast Awards. I won't read every category, but the ones that affect comedy include Podcast of the Year. Now, they include Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, which didn't even make Vulture's list yesterday. Interesting. Crime Junkie, Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey and David Spade. Las Culturistas, that's a comedy one. Love and Norabang, Maintenance Phase, Morbid, On Purpose with Jay Shetty, Scam Goddess, and SmartLess. The nominees for Best Overall Ensemble, Best Friends with Nicole Byer and Sashir Zamata. Conan, Just Between Us, Let's Make a Sci-Fi, and SmartLess. The nominees for Best Comedy Podcast are Distractable, Las Culturistas, SmartLess, The Read, Why Won't You Date Me? Not loving those nominees, to be honest. If you want to hear why, listen to yesterday's podcast. There's a fairly long rant. And those are the comedy-related ones. If you can't wait, well, you're going to have to wait because the awards aren't until Tuesday, March 14th. There's a lot of podcast awards. This is just one of many, but congratulations to the nominees. The SmartLess guys announced they're doing some more shows on their little network there. Bateman, Hayes, and Arnett in a joint statement. I guess they all said these words at the same time like they're the Borg. I don't know how that works. How do three people give a statement? They said, the three of us are so excited and grateful to be able to bring more SmartLess-style content your way, and we hope you'll love all the talent on those new podcasts as much as we do. I'd love to know about that statement. I've been involved with a press release or two. My guess, somebody in the PR department wrote it and then sent it to the guys and were like, hey, can I attribute this quote to you? And two of them probably said yes, and one of them probably said, can we tweak this word? And the person in the PR department went, sure, because they just wanted to get the darn thing out. What are the new shows? Well, Bad Dates is a new Jamila Jamil hosted podcast that features a panel of guests who each share tales of their worst or craziest dates ever. Rod Corddry will host Amy Always Wins, where he invites his friends to beat Jeopardy champion Amy Schneider at her own game. And Owned is a mix of comedy, tragedy, and everything in between. Rex Chapman guides listeners into the wild world of sports team owners, highlighting a different owner in each episode. Just Jack and Will is a Will and Grace rewatch podcast hosted by Sean Hayes and Aaron McCormack. All right, SmartLess guys. I love this story from the Daily Beast about Atsuko Okatsuka because the first sentence. There was a time when Okatsuka would open up her stand-up sets by addressing the elephant in the room, her name. Yeah, I'm really trying. I stumble over her name every time, and I think I get it wrong every time. And this isn't just the usual Johnny Mac gets everybody's name wrong. I stumble over this one. I apologize. I think she's fantastic. It is one of the best specials of the year. It's on HBO Max if you haven't seen it. The Daily Beast writes, there was a time when Okatsuka would open up her stand-up sets by addressing the elephant in the room, her name. She would joke that the audience could just call her Stacy, like her elementary school teacher did when she first moved to America. She says, whoever's bringing me up would always get scared of my name and say something weird. Guilty. I'm guilty. I'm not even trying to be a jerk. Guilty. Now she has her own HBO special and legions of followers on TikTok and Instagram. People are finally starting to get it right, except Johnny Mac. Recently, she met a fan, also named Atsuko, who credited the comedian's rising recognition for even the barista at Starbucks getting her name right. Tig Notaro, who produced the special, explained that she chose to mentor Atsuko because not only was she so funny, but also so different and so ridiculous and so clearly had a story to tell. All the so's were in caps, that's why I read it that way. I loved her instantly. She's unapologetically herself, and I think that's what I love so much about her. She reminded me that that's why I'm here too, because I'm unapologetically myself. Chortle reports Ricky Gervais's fortune has swelled by £10 million in a year. The assets of his company Red Lion 100 Limited rose $5.5 million. And Derek Productions, of which he's the sole director, a further £4 million. Wow. Part of the money, royalties from the UK and US versions of The Office, the sale of rights to his children's book Flanimals. Flanimals is being turned into an animated movie due out in 2024, and of course his Netflix deal. He has previously commented about his wealth, and he said, I know it sounds a lot, but remember, I donate a lot of this to good causes. He does do a lot of work with animals. Let's stop off at Gossip Corner and visit the mayor of Gossip Corner, Pete Davidson. The headline from HollywoodLife.com, Pete Davidson bummed after seeing Emily Ratajkowski on dates with DJ Orazio Rispo. Whoa! Hollywood Life says Pete Davidson isn't too thrilled after seeing Emily making headlines over her recent date with the DJ. The SNL alum 28 and the Blurred Lines video vixen 31 had been spotted out together in recent weeks, so it's no wonder that a few sources close to Pete Davidson exclusively told Hollywood Life that the comedian is feeling bummed. An insider said, Pete understands that Emily just got out of a marriage and he doesn't want to smother her. All right, don't feel too bad for Pete Davidson. He was out at the New York Rangers game and he wasn't with Emily. He was with actress and co-star Chase Sweet Wonders. They co-starred in the 2022 movie Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. TMZ reports they sat side by side at the hockey game and appeared to be having a good time with each other. And from SI Live, your home for Staten Island news, the headline, Pete Davidson meets Staten Islanders behind box office smash Terrifier 2. You saw box office smash Terrifier 2, right? Of course you did. Terrifier 2 was one of the biggest terrifying movies to come out in 2022. Everybody saw box office smash Terrifier 2. It was the talk of the town. Well, the co-founders of the Staten Island-based Fuzz on the Lens Productions, they made the box office smash Terrifier 2. They recently met Pete Davidson on the set of Bupkis. Pete has been filming Bupkis on Staten Island, of course. Where else would he film it? Michael Levy said, we brought Pete a jacket for being so supportive of us, fellow Staten Islanders. We wanted to show our gratitude. He's a cool guy, very genuine, very humble. He loves Staten Island, and he's very, very supportive of it. Hey, remember Joe Lycett? That's the comedian that said he was going to shred 10,000 pounds unless David Beckham rejected Qatar. Remember that? Well, on a TV special that aired in Britain on Thursday, Lycett had a comment from David Beckham's team. That statement read in part, we understand that there are different and strongly held views about engagement in the Middle East, but see it as positive that the debate about key issues has been stimulated directly by the first World Cup being held in the region. In an email after the broadcast, Lycett said he was shocked by the statement's absence of even mentioning LGBTQ plus people and its use of the word debate. Lycett said, essentially Beckham, or more likely his team, are saying human rights are up for debate. Tim Allen told Fox News, I got into this business because of my college attraction to Lenny Bruce, and eventually, late college, I saw Richard Pryor in concert and George Carlin. You never thought of what they were doing as infuriating people to make them laugh. Nowadays, I don't think they'd be allowed to say that. So that's the saddest thing in the world to me, that everything is okay as long as you're not being offended. He said, comedy is about the idea of exaggerating to clarify. That's what I do. I lie to tell the truth. That's what comedy is about. You're overextending yourself so that people go, that's weird. Julio Torres, creator and star of HBO's Los Spookies, which was not picked up for a third season, well, he's got a new gig. Julio will create, write, direct, produce, and star in a new comedy series for HBO called Little Films. Little Films tells the tale of when he lost a little golden oyster. The people he encounters as he searches for it and the musings he has along the way become points of departure for introspective, often eerie, comedic stories about outsiders navigating an increasingly corporate and rapidly dysfunctional New York City. All right, that's your comedy news for today. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your shows. See you tomorrow.